It's been almost 3 months since the province told us we were allowed to have a social bubble with 10 people in it. But with school starting soon, that bubble's about to get a lot larger. So does that mean you could say goodbye to that rule? Experts say it's actually time to be more careful than ever.
We barely saw our friends, and we just kept it to our family.
This little clan has been extra cautious, mainly sticking to a party of 3 with occasional visits to the grandparents. Others not exactly following the province's same 10-person rule.
I've never hung out with more than 10 people at one time, let's just say that. So.
Dr. Kashif Prusada, an ER physician in Toronto and co-founder of Conquer COVID-19, says with schools reopening right around the corner, in some cases it's time to tighten the already stringent rules.
Should be even more cautious. Seeing as how your kids are going to be involved in groups of 15 to 20 to 25, you need to really keep your kids away from vulnerable people in your family, such as grandparents or older relatives or anyone with medical conditions.
That means if you've had grandparents and other vulnerable people in your circle of 10 up until now, when that bell rings on September 15th, he suggests it's time to take them out.
We don't know how things are going to go. Judging by what's happening in the U.S., the cases are rising quickly. We won't know that impact for another couple of weeks. You don't want your parent or grandparent to end up in the ICU or in hospital.
Action's got to be dictated by the numbers and the data, right? Once it starts going up, there's probably more of an immediate threat, and then we should probably start clamping down again, right? Because otherwise life's got to kind of go on.
Now I'll pass it over.
As for the province, it says it isn't making any changes at this time, although changes could be coming down the line.
We do recognize that the social bubbles for students will be larger, but it is something that in terms of generally, we may take a look at it, but we are also facing the fall in general society. We have the flu season approaching as well, with the pandemic as well, and so we're going to keep things at the level of as it is right now. We may change that in the future, but for right now, we're going to keep it at its present stance.
Dr. Prusada suggests keeping grandparents out of your social bubble till about mid-October. He predicts that's when we will have a good idea on whether COVID-19 cases will rise exponentially with kids in school. Now, he also adds that people living in Toronto and Ontario are doing pretty well. They're following health protocols such as wearing their masks. A very different story, though, in places like Alberta and BC, where people aren't being as careful.